many borrowers need more time to resume payments.
President Joe Biden made an announcement on student loan payments. Now, is he canceling student debt? No, of course not. But after this clip, I will show you why canceling student debt is not just great politically, but also economically. And that's from somebody that was actually once introduced and spoke at a Joe Biden press briefing. But before I get to that individual and his statements, first, let me show you Joe Biden and what he did announce today.
Folks, our economic recovery is the strongest in the world. But I know that because of the pandemic, many borrowers need more time to resume payments. For that reason, my administration is extending the pause on student loans repayments for 90 more days through May 1, 2022. In the meantime, folks should take advantage of the Department of Education's option to make payments easier, like income-based repayments or public service student loan forgiveness program.
All right, so Joe Biden there making the announcement that he is extending the pause on student loan repayments. This is clearly a reversal from their previous position. They had said that their last extension was going to be the last extension they had on the student loan repayment pause, but clearly they changed their minds here. So this from CNN. The reversal comes less than 2 weeks after White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki had indicated that the administration was still planning to restart federal student loan payments in February, resisting pressure from some fellow Democrats who have been calling for an extension of coronavirus pandemic relief benefits. So it's a reversal, another reversal, a good reversal, the other reversal being the fact that they were against giving out free COVID tests. Now they are for that, sending out 500 million through the mail. So good on them. But obviously, it's not enough. I know, people are always complaining, always wanting more, but the reality is this is really just the bare minimum in terms of what the administration can be doing right now. So Biden had promised back in 2020, March 22nd, 2020, saying, additionally, we should forgive a minimum of $10,000 a person of federal student loans as proposed by Senator Warren and colleagues. Young people and other student debt holders bore the brunt of the last crisis. It shouldn't happen again. This is while he was running. But he's in and he's not doing it. And by the way, he has the power to do this through executive order. He doesn't need Congress. He can do this right now. And he's not doing it. So let me get to why this is great politics. First, more than 60% of voters support some student loan debt forgiveness. Poll after poll shows that the vast majority of people support forgiving student loan debt. But also, in addition to the political benefits of it, it's also practical. So from the Insider here are 6 benefits of erasing 1.6 trillion, no strings attached. So I will link to this article below. They go deep, have a variety of reasons here, but let me just show you someone that they reference here as he breaks down a lot of those reasons. This is Bharat Ramamurthy. He is the deputy director at the National Economic Council and was once introduced at the White House during a press briefing. Here he is at a Biden White House press briefing. So somebody who was well respected, the White House knows who this guy is, and he is calling for the cancellation of all student debt. So here are some of the points that he made on Twitter back in 2020. Student loan debt cancellation also has positive wealth effects. Student debt loads are part of the reasons we're seeing declining home ownership and small business formation rates. Canceling the debt will mean more jobs and growth. Also, one study has found that canceling all debt would have a big stimulative effect. The impact would be less if less debt were canceled, but debt cancellation, one of the relatively few ways to really stimulate the economy without Congress. The latest data and research also show that broad debt cancellation will help narrow the racial wealth gap. Also goes on to say here, for those concerned about targeting student loan debt cancellation, you can vary the amount of debt canceled by income level should you want to. If you're concerned it won't help people who never attended college, you could pair it with executive actions that do that. Finally, the politics. First, recall that Trump was so freaked out about the popularity of broad debt cancellation that he directed his staff to come up with his own plan, which, yes, indeed, this is back in the Washington Post in December 2019. Eyeing populist challenge from the left, Trump seeks plan to tackle student debt. Even Republicans, or at least Trump in this case, knew how popular this was that he was considering doing this. Can you imagine if a Republican politician did this, or a president did this before a Democratic one did. When the discussion gets this far, it really helps to recenter the conversation and help you realize how far right the Democratic Party currently is. More here. Last bit. And here's polling data by demographic. Debt cancellation has the highest approval among people making under $50,000 a year and among people who don't have a college degree, many of whom have debt because they didn't complete college or because they're co-signing for their kids. So this also flies in the face of the stupidest argument that I've heard on this, against this, that, oh, you're just going to help wealthy people. How are you helping wealthy people? Wealthy individuals don't take out student loans. Or if they do, they pay them off. Like, what extreme wealthy individual is trying to pay off their student loans? It sounds dumb because it is dumb, but it's amazing how often that argument gets brought up. Why do I want to help Donald Trump's kids with canceling student loan debt? What? It's so dumb. But people have made that argument, believe it or not. So it's great politics. It's great policy. It should be done. It will involve more pressure to simply hold Biden to his promise of just $10,000, which would go to help a lot of people that have student debt. There is a good chunk of people who only have around $10,000 in student debt, either because that's what they have left or they didn't finish college, so they don't have all that much debt that they have to owe. Whatever the case, even that would go a long way to helping people, even though we should cancel all of it. At the very least, do what you promised in the campaign. But of course, it will take more pressure that may actually work. I mean, you saw the pressure when it comes to the free tests. You saw the pressure when it comes to the pausing of the student loan repayments. Who knows? More pressure in this area may actually work.